And hello folks, welcome to what is now week 5 of the Kansas City Corporate Esports Challenge Cup, presented to you by Google Fiber. Of course, we also got our other sponsors to thank as well: Populous, Sporting Kansas City, Park University, Forvis, and the Kansas City Esports Coalition, who we're putting it all on here today. And of course, we're powered by Casey Game On. I am JT Display. You can see my name scrolling down there at the bottom here, but we got ourselves another week of Overwatch for you guys today to enjoy. And let me tell you, who we got as the homestand? It is none other than the season leading undefeated currently. It is the Neubs right now. They are sitting very strongly in the bracket here. Granted, it's a bracket of 3 teams, but they are currently undefeated throughout the entire season so far, which is quite an accomplishment, honestly. I mean, these guys battle back and forth between each other every single week here. There's always an opportunity to maybe somebody has an off day there, or somebody doesn't just show up the way they normally do. But the fact that they've been able to stay undefeated up until this point here, I mean, credit to you guys, the Neubs. And now, we give you guys the opportunity have a home stand here. So what that means is that the Neubs are our home team. If you're rooting for the home team, that you're rooting for the Neubs. Congratulations, you got a winning team right now. But what that means is that they're going to play host first to the team of Google Fiber, still searching for their first win of the season. And then later on tonight, they'll be going up against the second place team of Populous. So Populous there, they've had some tough battles back and forth there. Certainly Populous playing the home as well last week. And so it's kind of interesting to see, you know, it seemed like for a while there that, you know, they're really home. Like eventually the Neubs came out and got it done in a sweep there, as is their wont. Will they continue to do all sweeps tonight? Who knows? This is the first time I'll get to see them doing 2 games in a row here, folks. So it's anyone's guess who's going to come out on top. Obviously, Jedi Hagger there, hyped up as all get out. And then why not? Team captain here for the Neubs. They've certainly put in the work this year, throughout this season, this competition here, and it's showing. Right? It's definitely showing. As they're, like I said, currently undefeated there. What more can be said about it there, right? They've got a dominant tank on their team there. I think it's Happy Rock, or it could be Ira. Yeah, I'll have to see because I'm not recognizing every single one of these names that are currently in the lobby with us. But yeah, their tanks are unmatched. I think it is Happy Rock that is the that main tank. You might see somebody in there with an off tank role. Obviously, you can get usually typically just one tank on a team there, and that seems to be Happy Rock's happy place. And I'm all for it too. Although I do see Psy 452 in there with that Reinhardt, and I do love I'm a Reinhardt main. So I love seeing more Reinhardt all the time. Not always the best choice for every situation, but it's a pretty good choice for pretty much most situations. And that's why I think what makes Reinhardt probably one of my favorites, just because of how versatile he is. He's got such a great dynamic kit as a hero. And that shield is just like, there are other shielding heroes, obviously. Looking at big science guy there, Sigma. It's like Omega, no, Sigma, and he's got a good shield there as well. But I think that the mobility of having Reinhardt being able to move that shield a little bit easier than Sigma does. Sigma can produce a little bit more range damage there with his autos, but I think that it's just a little bit different there. Ramatra as well. It's now starting to be a beefy boy in the tanks. Now they gave him a little bit of a boost with some patches to help buff him up there, because he was looking a little weak there, which is good. You want a champion when it first hero when it first comes out to be a little weak, so you can tune him up rather than having to nerf him into the ground. Orisa still very strong after they did try to nerf her a little bit there, because that's another one where it's really good. You can get any which way with an Orisa there. There's a few other tanks out there, Roadhog, which is very situational, I think. But it's a role that I find, if you've got a good tank main on your team there, it's an opportunity for you to really dominate that frontline attack there, because you're gonna be able to shield your squishies a lot easier there. Be able to look after your squishies, get in their face. Diva does a really good job of doing that as well. But it's one of those roles that I think is underrated and underappreciated, and so I'm just trying to always do what I can every stream to say, hey, tanks, we see you, we appreciate you. The DPS get all the love because they put out a bunch of damage and they can one-shot people, especially on a Cassie or a Widowmaker there. But it's the tanks. Without the tanks, those DPS, they don't really get the shot. They don't have a shot. They don't have a shot to make. So we'll see as Google Fiber starts to filter into this first lobby here. As always, folks, this is a best of 3 here. So if we go to map 3, that means that both teams have taken a match in this series here. So that just means that you got to win 2 to make that sweep, and it is a little that makes it a little bit snowbally there. So winning that first game, it's going to be really important. Whoever comes out into this one here. So while we are still waiting on Google Fiber, I'll tell you what, folks, we're gonna take a brief break. When we come back, we'll make sure to have Google Fiber taking on the Homestead team of the Neubs right here on Esports KC.org on twitch.tv/esportkc.org. Do not be going anywhere. And folks, we are back here. Looks like we've got all the kitties in the pool, as I like to say. So as soon as they have decided on their map, they should be able to get underway here. Looks like currently the favorite seems to be Kings Row potentially here. So we'll see if that ends up going. As we, again, now we have everybody in here for Google Fiber. It should be an interesting one here to see if they're able to so we're still waiting on one for Google Fiber. Alright, so my apologies, I thought we had everybody in here, folks. That's alright. You know, it gives us another time to kind of reminisce about, you know, how the series has gone on for years. So obviously, you know, looking at the backstories of these two teams here, Populous waiting in the wings here, but it's really all about Google Fiber and their quest for redemption here. They've had a tough struggle. You know, sometimes that it's just, you know, with their work schedules, you know, certainly this is a work competition here, and not everybody's able to, you know, get together at the exact same time as everyone else here. And I think that kind of does, you know, force some issues with that chemistry, right? Because if you don't know who's going to be in all the time there, that can cause, and that's probably what's causing some of those, you know, unfortunate circumstances for them there, where they're not able to finish out games there. I think they have taken, you know, still waiting. I'm not sure if they've taken a full map yet. I know they've taken a couple of rounds here, but they haven't taken a map. So I'm hoping to see if they will take a map fully, because if that is the case there, could be really interesting to see them, you know, push a game to game 3 here, because I think that's what we're all rooting for them to, you know, get that first map, and then, you know, things start snowballing there. It builds upon itself here. Now it looks like it will be Kings Row, so we will head down right to it there. Take it right to the action on Kings Row. See, it will be the team
ready for battle. Who said she believes dead? Who said she believes dead?
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I offer something more.
Cutting through. Now traveling to Busan. Initiating match.